Making a Stuart model steam plant. This is part 33. Cutting the baseboard to size and looking at the doll's house type of terracotta floor tiles. Marking the position for the boiler and a bit of painting at the end of the video. This is a piece of wood that I bought for the base of the steam plant. It isn't plywood, it's a proper piece of wood, although it is made up of lots of separate blocks. Initially I was going to cut the board 16 inches square, but then it didn't look right, so I think I'm going to go with 18 inches by 16. The customer has asked me to fit these to the baseboard. They are doll's house terracotta floor tiles. And they look like doll's house sized terracotta floor tiles. In my opinion, this is not a good idea. Most engine houses I've ever been in have had wooden floors. In fact, polished terracotta floors would be hazardous on the floor of a full-size engine house. I may be wrong, there may be some out there with terracotta floors, but I've never seen one. There's a bit of a problem. These tiles are from different manufacturers, so they're not all the same. And when I lay them out on the baseboard, they do look truly horrendous. I think I'm going to have a word with the customer. But if the customer wants these terracotta floor tiles on the steam plant, who am I to argue with that? I can't use these anyway. I need to buy some that are all from the same manufacturer. I haven't removed the plastic wrapper from the baseboard, which is good really because the lines that I made originally are not going to be used. In this video you will see me doing some things twice. For instance, I've drawn the line that I want to cut on, but now I'm going to use a ruler just to check that it's in the right place. I'm a firm believer in the measure twice and cut once principle. I don't want to use my handheld circular saw for this job because it's very brutal and very nasty, and so is my jigsaw. Instead, I'm using my old Burgess bandsaw, but I cannot get to the line because the machine is not big enough. Initially, I cut the board where the bandsaw allowed, and then I very carefully cut along the line. This took quite a long while and I was being very careful. I didn't want to break the blade and I didn't want the blade to wander about all over the place. And also the video is running at double speed. In these tutorials I often speed up some of the more mundane jobs that I do, just in case some viewers accidentally slip into a coma whilst watching them. Health and safety warning: when using a bandsaw or any machine tool for that matter, always take great care to avoid injury. We were originally designed to have 4 fingers and a thumb on each hand, and life is not the same if any of these pieces are missing. With the baseboard now cut to size and the edge cleaned up on the belt sander, it's time to find the centre position. The boiler is going to sit on this metal mounting plate, and in this clip I'm using the illogical method by measuring each side and moving it about till I get it exactly in the centre, but I think there's a much better way to do this. As I mentioned earlier, I did leave the wrapping on this piece of wood. The felt tip pen marks that I'm making on the wrapping are very easy to wipe off, so I'm going to remove the wrapping and use a pencil to draw the mounting position lines on the baseboard. And it doesn't really matter now because the baseboard is going to be covered up anyway, either by using those doll's house type terracotta tiles as I showed earlier, or preferably using wooden planking made from mahogany strip. In order to align all the parts on the baseboard, I definitely need a centre line. The piece of wood is 18 1/4 inches long. I've made 2 pencil marks on the piece of wood at 9 1/8 of an inch. Now I'm using a set square first, followed by the ruler, to draw a line down the centre of the board that is exactly in the middle. This is a much better way of doing things. The steel plate for the base of the boiler is 11 inches long, so I just need to make a mark in the middle of this at 5 1/2 inches, and then once again using my set square, I draw a line exactly in the centre. Then all I need to do is line up this line with the line on the baseboard. With the boiler mounted in exactly the right position, I can arrange the rest of the parts around the boiler, knowing that the plant is going to be more or less symmetrical. This is more of an art than a science. I'm doing a bit of measuring, but at the end of the day I will be positioning the parts where I think they look right. This layout may change slightly. The condenser oil trap water economizer is in the position it is definitely going to have to be in now. And I'm happy about that because it was designed to be where it is. I don't want to butcher this Stuart model's water tank, but I do want to remove the paint from the cap. As usual, I'm using gun wash, which is cellulose thinners or lacquer thinner as you call it in the USA. I've poured some of this gun wash into a polythene tub. Bear in mind it has to be polythene. Do not put gun wash or cellulose thinners into a polystyrene container, because the solvent will dissolve the polystyrene. I've poured on a bit of extra gun wash, and now I'm going to put this in the outer part of the workshop and leave it until the paint falls off. I am in the outer part of the workshop shaking my rattle can. I did of course shake the can for a good bit longer than this, but I don't want to bore you too much with that. This is the special mahogany base that I made for the Stuart Models 1010V steam engine. I've decided to paint it black. I think it will look much better. Here I'm using some primer to seal the wood before I paint it black. This is the standard high quality high build etch primer that I use, and it's great because it puts quite a thick coat on, which makes rubbing it down much simpler. You don't rub through the paint to the wood underneath. For wood, of course, you don't need to use etch primer, but this is the only primer that I've got that's very good quality. As you can see in this clip, the part is on top of an upturned food container, which in turn is sat on my turntable. And I'm spraying this part in a very well ventilated area right next to a wide open door. Here's the usual shot of the paint drying, and that's it from me. Stay healthy, thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my main Steam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.